Welcome everybody to an evening of Q&A on the virtual gastric band process with our guest, hypnotherapist, Sheila Granger from England. Thank you very much for being here. Sheila, let me just give you a brief background on a little bit about Sheila. Sheila is a fearless hypnotist, and I say fearless because I don't know that much about her, except that she hasn't been doing this as long as most really experienced hypnotists. I mean, she's been doing it a rather short time, less than 5 years, and she has developed a process of using the imagination in a very unique and creative way. She developed this process on her own after seeing other people put together similar processes. So, it wasn't really discovering some great thing, but it was actually her deciding that she was going to see how things work for herself and just going out there and having the gumption to go ahead and fail as fast as possible to find out what was successful. And she used that feedback and that experience to create a unique process that she can call her own that actually has, from what she's described, has gotten really fantastic success rates, and they are, quite frankly, they are anecdotal success rates. They are short-term so far, but aside from that, it's actually pretty amazing that this is all very positive, and it's an ongoing trial. Actually, she's doing what probably a lot of us would like to be doing. She's seeing 50 clients a week. She's working her tail off as a hypnotist, which is something in this economy that I'm sure that quite a lot of us would love to be able to say. We're turning away 25 clients a week because we can't see them all, or we're booked up 3, 4, 5 weeks out there with a waiting list. It's pretty phenomenal, the type of success that she's having, and I think it's in good measure because of the way she's presenting the material that she has to the public, and she's garnered a lot of public press, a lot of publicity. She's garnered the attention of the national, I guess it's called the National Health Service, which is the
that's right. Yeah,
which is the insurance, the national insurance organization over in England. In England they have national insurance, free health plans, and she's also, from what she told me, she's also attracted the attention of Dr. Mehmet Oz, going over there and looking to interview her for his show. So she's not shy. She knows how to get publicity, and she's going to be discussing with us her process of how she does the gastric band, the virtual gastric band. So I'm using your questions to get her to open up. Would you like to have an opening statement, Sheila?
Yeah, I mean, it's very nice to hear you think I'm very brave. And you're quite right what I'm saying. I am seeing, between 40 and 50 people a week. I have a waiting list now of 2 months before anybody can come to see me, and that's working literally 12 hours a day, one client after the other, after the other. And it is a process that other hypnotherapists can use and can build that same amount of success into their own business and generate the same amount of clients, which is why, I'd approached Mark with a view to doing this teleseminar so that more people, I think, could benefit from it, because I don't believe that I'm a particularly unique individual. It's just simply, I suppose, in a way, like you said, Mark, I actually sort of took the bull by the horns and think, right, I'll run the risk of failure with this and just see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm truly a fan just knowing that. I know that a lot of people get stuck in procedures, in being concerned about whether something will work before they even want to try it, which actually is very good on for what you're doing, because you can show them exactly what does work. You've tested this out with a whole bunch of people. You've gotten great results. You've also attracted the attention of the local doctors, who have invited you in to be their hypnotist, and they're supplying you with their overweight patients, right?
That's right. Going back a bit, what I actually did was about last September time. I'd heard somebody else talk about the concept of using a virtual gastric band, and I didn't really know whether that would work. About 80% of my clients who came to me came for weight control, and I had a system that I thought worked fairly well. But I thought that I'm going to put this idea of incorporating a virtual gastric band to a trial. At the time, I got 25 volunteers. Nobody paid me any money at all, and I saw all those people in a group, which generally can water your success rate down because you're not tailoring anything to an individual. And it worked for 24 out of those 25 people. 24 out of 25 lost weight. The group as a whole, over a 3-week period, lost, I think it was 14.5 stone in 3 weeks. And I was as astounded as the next person, really. But following on from that, my aim is now to get the NHS in the UK to take that on board, to make it available for more people, not just people who can, say, afford to pay a therapist for it. But as a result of that, I have now been invited on a database of surgeons in the UK to start logging my results, so that hopefully in time, when they can see the evidence of it, that it will then be taken on board by the NHS in the UK. I'm now based in a doctor's surgery, and I now, yes, I see the doctor's patients who recently he has had 11 patients who were refused gastric surgery because of funding issues in the UK. They'd been removed from the waiting list. He said, would I see them and run it as another trial? So again, it was for no payments. I saw them in a group because I didn't have 10 hours a week free to see them on an individual basis, although I'd have liked to have done. And again, it got exactly the same results. It worked for everyone barring one of them. One lady, she'd lost over a stone in the 3-week period. And I asked them all afterwards, were they sceptical about it before? Because the doctor invited them to come along. And were they sceptical about it before they came? And they all said yes, they were. But not one of them is sceptical about it now.
And that on a whole different level is amazing, because one of the, I guess it's a myth that's been exploded, is that people have to be invested in the process in order for them to get the results, the benefits. And these are people who are invested, but not monetarily. They're probably they must be invested in some way. And it's always been thought that money is a great motivator and a great part of the process, but it doesn't seem to be so in this case.
No, and again, I've always in the past worked on that theory that, if people aren't paying for it, yes, there's no monetary value and the results won't be as good. But like you say, in these 2 trials, that hasn't been the case at all. People have still got the results.
And just so that we're clear, in the States we don't use stones for weight. We talk in pounds, and I think you said they were 14 pounds to a stone.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. 14 pounds in a stone.
So could you translate that into how many pounds people have lost?
So